On today's show, is it something or nothing? We'll talk about the Mavericks not wanting D'Angelo Russell, Kyrie Irving's impending free agency, and some playoff lessons we've learned. All that and more in today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks Podcast.
10 Mavericks, NBA champions. Bang! It's good! And the Mavericks have won the game!
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
Loyalty never fades away.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and NBA channel manager for the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Thanks for being part of the show and making Locked On Mavs your first listen every day. Join the Raccoon Squad. Be an everydayer. Subscribe, follow for free. Just search Locked On Mavericks wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube. But the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day and comment anything below. Let us know what's one lesson you've learned from the playoffs so far, from other teams, that you think the Mavericks need to learn. Let us know. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code LOCKEDON. That's prizepicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. If you want to support the show, text us. Get text alerts from us and get alerts on Mavs rumors and things throughout the offseason. Subscribe to our subtext. Click the link in the description below. Joining me, as always, my co-host, writer, contributor at Mavs.com. The weekend wonder, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
You know, we hop on Zoom. No, we're actually not even on Zoom. We hop on before
video chat.
Yeah, before we hit record, and you know, we typically chat it up, you know, for a good little bit. Did we talk about the draft? Not really. Did we talk about Kyrie's free agency? No. We talked for 15 minutes on Zelda.
Oh, Tears of the Kingdom.
Is anybody else playing Zelda right now?
Absolutely. There's it sold like 4 million copies in the USA in like the first 2 days or something.
I'm trying to debate on whether I should get it or not.
Let Isaac know. Let Isaac know how good Tears of the Kingdom is. Because
is it better
me
than
and my
the
wife
Avatar show? That's what I want to know.
Stop. You're not allowed to compare anything to those things. My wife and I have gone back to we've reverted back to like being children where it's like, okay, you can play for an hour and then I get to play for an hour and then you get to play for an hour and then we only have a timer and go back. We reverted back to being kids again. And
what have you done more
amazing.
together? Play Zelda or... No, I'm just kidding.
Or talk to each other? We've played Zelda more. We've played Zelda more together than talking. Today's episode, though, we're going to play a game called Something or Nothing. We're going to go through a bunch of stuff. I'm going to bring up stuff to Isaac and say if it's something or nothing. We got some rumors recently from Mark Stein, and we'll talk about the Kyrie Irving IG Live from last week. We'll see if that's something or nothing. Luka running upstairs?
Whoa.
Is that something or nothing?
With a new haircut?
And then I should do both. And then some stuff on the Mavs draft. And then I've got some playoff lessons that I think I've learned from teams. And we'll say if that's something or nothing for the Mavericks and what they can learn from it. So we'll do that a little bit later. But let's start here. Mark Stein says that while we await a clear indication about the Lakers' intentions, with no verifiable signal to date that pursuing Kyrie Irving is among their offseason priorities. Is that something or nothing? This is several times now we've heard that the Lakers there's no indication from the Lakers that they're pursuing Kyrie Irving. Is that something or nothing still?
This is part of their chess game with LeBron. LeBron's like, hey, I'm thinking about retiring, guys. It's like, okay, sure, you're not retiring. And then, you know, and then they're like, counter is, well, we really like the young core, you know.
Our priority is to keep this young core. That's been Pelinka's thing.
Your move, LeBron. I need a retirement post of, man, this wine's tasting good. Might enjoy this, you know, for the next bit. Yeah. No, I mean,
something or nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
That's my nothing sounder. Is that you think it's, so you don't think it's anything? You think the Lakers could still go after him?
Yeah, because I think they're going to do whatever LeBron wants them to do, and that's. I mean, I don't think there's a way around that.
No, there's not. The Lakers are if LeBron wants to go after Kyrie, and all indications are that Or just you just look at their team. Okay, what do they need? They need someone else to score. They need another scoring, ball handling type player. Kyrie Irving could potentially be available. He's a free agent. Fred VanVleet. Those are the names that are going to go around them. And there's an easier path for Kyrie Irving and a more direct connection between Kyrie and LeBron than anything else. And so people are going to speculate about it. Is it actually going to happen? I don't know. The other thing that came from Mark Stein recently is league sources say that the Mavericks would have no interest in a sign-and trade with the Lakers that features D'Angelo Russell as the primary Dallas-bound player. Is this something or nothing, Isaac Harris?
That's something, baby.
It's something.
Thank the Lord.
Why is D'Angelo Russell? Why would that be such a bad thing for the Mavericks to bring back? Just humor me on that.
He just doesn't. I mean, you watched him in the playoffs.
I did.
I mean, I don't even want to say it would be a disservice to Kyrie to say he's, great value Kyrie. It's just, it's not even the same. Yeah. I just don't, everything that he's trying to go for right now and what he's about as a player, I just don't think it's a good fit at all.
Honestly, if you're a Mavericks fan and you don't watch other teams, which I understand, it would be like a sign and trade with Tim Hardaway Jr. coming back at this point in D'Angelo Russell's career, right?
Yeah.
He can score 13 points a game in the playoffs. We saw him recently do that against the Clippers in a series. So it would be like that. It'd be like bringing that type of player back, a semi one-dimensional type player that you could bring back that has really good games and really bad games. It gets played off the floor sometimes, and it would be like that. And that's not moving the needle for you. That's not something you could build a package around or a foundation for Dallas. So to me, this is something. This is something because I think that it's good the Mavericks put this out here and are like, all right, we're not just going to take your junk back for this Kyrie Irving thing because, like we've said several times now, the Mavericks don't have to cooperate with this and say, okay, well we'll just take whatever you want, Lakers, and you go ahead and take Kyrie if Kyrie wants to go there. Because what the Lakers would have to do to get Kyrie Irving without the Mavericks' help is pay him a lot less than what he could get with the Mavericks. And that's what it's going to come down to if they decide to do that.
I would take cap space. It would be a whole different conversation if Dallas is over the cap, Kyrie's he literally leaves for nothing, and you have no cap space and all that stuff. I could hear hey, Russell's better than nothing, and
it's what the Warriors did. They were going to lose Kevin Durant for nothing, and so they turned him into D'Angelo Russell, and then they turned Russell into Wiggins. And so, that worked out for them, but they were in a different situation than what the Mavericks are in right now. So, I think it's something the Mavericks indicated that. Here's another thing from Mark Stein is that all indications are that the Mavericks remain intent on re-signing Kyrie Irving.
Thank you for that, Mark.
Is that something? It's both.
That's something.
It's both something and nothing because we've heard it. The Mavericks are, have this another one of Windhorse. I almost shared this one too. The Mavericks have grand plans to build around Kyrie and Luka Doncic. Is that something or nothing?
Something.
Yeah, because it is what it is, right? That's what the Mavericks are planning on. They're planning and they're putting their plans behind this Luka and Kyrie Irving duo. They are not trying to, all right, let's try to see if we can get out of this Kyrie thing. Let's see if we can send him somewhere. And that's not what the Mavericks are trying to do.
No, not at
all. Kyrie Irving had an Instagram live. He went live on IG last week. And, we told you about it on Subtext. So if you're subscribed to that, you'll get the initial reaction to things like that from us and text us. So click the link in the description if you want info on that. Kyrie Irving said this: if it doesn't come from me, meaning news about his free agency, these people do not know me. I'm in no rush to make a decision. The speculation around my name from talking heads on TV. And then he kind of complained about that for a little while and was upset about the different people, talking about him. That's that statement in and of itself that, I'm in no rush to make a decision about free agency. Is that something or nothing?
I mean, I don't think it's anything. It's Kyrie. I don't really understand him getting mad about the media talking about his free agency. I mean, he's one of the best players, in the NBA, top 30 player, and he's going to be a free agent. So people are going to talk about it. So I think it comes with the business.
The specific thing he was upset about, and I watched the whole thing, is that he was mad about people thinking they know what he's going to do. That people were saying, this is what Kyrie is going to do. Kyrie is going to, he wants to go to the Lakers or something like that. And he was upset about people saying that, which I understand that aspect of it. It's when he continued on and was like, let's not even talk. There's still playoff games being played. Like, why am I being talked about? And you're like, okay, at that point, we're going to talk about you. Like,
have you watched ESPN?
Yeah, like we're going to talk about you.
They don't care about talking about their Nuggets. What are you talking about?
No, they don't. TV people are coming out and saying that they're not an interesting team, frankly. And so that part I don't get. And him saying like, don't at me on Twitter. Like, don't ask me to come to your team and Twitter. Like, that's what it is, man. Like, that's what media is. So there's two parts of it, which there's always two parts to a Kyrie story, where it's one part, all right, I get being frustrated about something, but there's another part of it where you just kind of have to deal with it because that's what it is at this point. Coming up, let's keep playing something or nothing about Luka's offseason workouts. And have the Mavericks not met with any draft prospects? Talk about that coming up. But before we do, let me tell you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. You can get into Prize Picks right now. See what is on right now for Prize Picks. I'm going to open it up and see what you have. Oh, MLB. Opened up right to MLB, and I was like, I don't know anything about this. If you know,
give me one. Give me one. I got it.
Texas Rangers, Corey Seager, Texas Rangers infielder, playing against Detroit on Monday. Will he have more or less 8.0 hitter fantasy score?
Yeah, more. I mean, he's been on a hot streak. Dude can get on the bases. He's good. How
about Marcus Semien, 8.0 more or less hitter fantasy score?
I'm gonna take a less on that. It's tough pitching matchup for him.
Okay, yeah, tough one for him. You have that for baseball, but then for the NBA, for example, you have Game 7, Tatum, more or less 31.5 points. You can pick the more or less on that. You pick 2 to 6 players just like that, and then you put some money down. You can win some money, and if you use the promo code LOCKEDON, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs and being part of the show, being part of the Raccoon Squad. We appreciate you. Tomorrow's show, we're doing Jarris Walker's draft profile. We're diving in. We do an entire show on each of the draft prospects we think the Mavericks are going to look at. We did one on Jaden Hardy last year. The Mavericks ended up drafting Jaden Hardy. So hopefully they'll draft one of these players or acquire one of these players that we do, but we're doing Jarris Walker tomorrow. We've already done Anthony Black, and we've already done, what's the other one we did?
Taylor Hendricks.
We already did those two, and we're doing Jarris Walker tomorrow. All right, Isaac, let's get into some more something or nothing. This weekend, Luka Doncic posted a video of himself running up some stairs outside, doing some stair climbs, looking like he's doing some off-season workouts. Is this something or nothing? Because Twitter really got excited about this.
It's the only staircase in Slovenia. It's nothing.
Notably a flat country, just no elevation.
I mean, I swear when I saw this video, I'm like, I swear I've seen a video of him running these stairs before. So I went back and watched some videos of his trainer there in Slovenia, and yes, found videos from a few years ago of him running the same stairs. I mean, I mean, he's going to train and work out over there. I don't think it's anything. I mean, it's cool that he's working out, but it's not like, I mean, some people watched it and was like, whoa, Luka's working out.
All right. Okay. Since we both agree that it's nothing, it's like, it's cool to see Luka working out, but it's nothing. Let's do our best, like ESPN or, FS1. Like, let's do our best.
Oh yeah.
This is something. All right.
You want to go first?
No, you got it.
Bill, I'll tell you, if Luka runs this offseason, he's going to be the runaway MVP. You could go ahead and put the Mavericks there in the finals this coming season. If Luka sheds pounds and he takes it serious, and it looks like he is, he's back home. He's with his friends. He's looking slimmer than ever. Did you even see their haircut? He's even taken his haircut seriously. This is the summer of Luka Doncic. We're getting the tip-top best shape of his life, Luka Doncic, this fall. Mark it down. MVP.
What's the one thing holding Luka Doncic back from being the best player in the NBA, from being a franchise game-changing, multiple title-winning player? What's the one thing that's holding him back?
Sweet tea.
Getting in shape, doing the work, being the guy that wants to go the extra mile, being in shape in clutch, tight games where he can continue in the fourth quarter. That's the one thing holding him back. And look at him. He's doing it. No one's asking him to do this. There's no coach behind him running, trying to tell him. Jason Kidd is not out there running around trying to tell. Luka Doncic is doing this. He's doing it himself. He's the one out there making this happen. He's hungry. Do you think it hurt him to not make the playoffs this past year? Do you think it motivated him to not even make the play-in game? He couldn't make the play-in game. This is a hungry, motivated Luka. You can see it running up those stairs. You can tell that he was hungry running up those stairs. And I'm telling you right now, next year, Luka Doncic, Finals MVP. Mark it down.
Coming up next, we'll tell you what kind of hungry Luka was.
Hungry for what? Oh, man. Some days I wish we could do that. Just ISO on a thing like that and like make it a big deal. Like,
yeah, do a whole segment on it.
all right, which I guess we've done on some things before, but someone should clip that and just like got to put.
Because then we'll think it's real.
I was gonna say I'll clip it and put music behind it that makes it seem. We could do what Jason Concepcion and Jason Gallagher do. They do the latched on NBA where it looks like Locked On's format, and we should do like an ESPN one where it makes us
do a first take one.
Yeah, first take one. Okay, the Mavericks have not been connected to like any draft prospects recently. Hoops Hype has this tracker that you sent to me that has like a mock draft and like this tracker where they're tracking all the different prospects and who they've met with so far. How many have been connected to the Mavericks so far?
And I want to clarify this too. A lot of these teams are who the players are telling reporters that they've met with. So this isn't just who said like it's just not getting reported. A lot of these guys are, we were joking earlier about Anthony Black and these, Jarris Walker, these guys who are telling reporters, I've met with this team, and I'm scheduled to meet with, this team. And it's like, all right, can I see the Mavs like attached to any of these like top 10 guys? Yeah. We've seen Jordan Hawkins, we've seen Imani Bates, there's a couple, guys here and there, but like none of the top 10 guys. Like we haven't, like you look at a guy like Jarris Walker and he's met with the Jazz, he's meeting with the Thunder. These are two teams right before Dallas, right after Dallas at pick 12, with OKC. He's met with some teams, above Dallas and top 10 also. So it's not just players who are meeting with the top 5 teams. It's players like a Jarris Walker or Taylor Hendricks that we just haven't heard connected to Dallas yet. So
we haven't. So we haven't seen them connected to many of the players in the Mavericks range. Is that something or nothing?
I think it's something. I do think it's something. Now we know that Dallas holds who they work out. It's really close to their vest. Like, I feel like we should do the whole spill again. But like, there's teams like the Lakers when they bring in prospects, they bring their media there. They interview them after the draft workout. All this stuff.
They'll post their draft workout interviews to their YouTube channels, like public and everything. Every
team does it different. Dallas, for a while now, even into this new era, new regime, they just don't make it public. They don't tell people, they don't announce it, they don't bring media in, they don't do any of that stuff. So we're not going to hear about every single guy who works out for Dallas, but where you do hear it is when a player goes to like in Indiana and then they're like, hey, who have you worked out with? Oh, I just came from Dallas. And you're like, all right, cool. Thank you for asking. Now we know who's worked out. The fact that we just haven't heard any player, I do think it means something. I think shocker here, but Dallas is going to shop this pick a lot. It's the online debate right now. Everybody loves arguing if they should keep it or trade it. And I think it's just further proof that, I don't know, if they were all in on drafting a player, I think we would see their names connected to all of these guys at the combine. And I think multiple prospects in that top 10 would be saying, yeah, I met with Dallas. I've talked with them. And they would be included in all these lists.
I'm gonna do the classic Zag. This is nothing to me. I think that this could just be a scheduling thing where the Mavericks just haven't met with these teams yet, or met with these players yet. Where like we just don't know if they have done
Mavs
their
like,
workouts.
yeah, we couldn't get our Asana working, so
Well, they could have them planned for like a week from now. I mean, the draft is not for like what, a month, couple like 5 weeks.
Yeah, they don't have to meet with them at the combine. Yeah.
So they could have these meetings scheduled. So to me, this is nothing. It could be something in the end, but to me, as of right now, if we get to like a week before the draft and we're like, I don't know if the Mavs have met with any player, like prospects or anybody, which could happen, then maybe we're like, okay. It could also mean that they have a trade already lined up that they just can't call in yet or whatever. So we'll see. I will see on that. But coming up, let's talk about some playoff lessons. What can we learn from some of these teams? Something or nothing on wing depth, centers, your third best player, wild card scores. I got all kinds of lessons I think I've learned from these teams, and we'll talk about if we can apply these to Dallas. We'll talk about that coming up. Oh. All right, Isaac Harris. I just hit the Kevin Harlan on accident.
Oh, they're talking. They're discussing the podcast.
Let's talk about some lessons that I think I've learned from some of these teams. I looked at specifically the last 4 teams standing and seeing if I can learn anything from these last 4 teams. So Denver, the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Heat. We don't know which one of those teams is going to be in the finals between the Heat and the Celtics as of right now. But what have we learned? First thing, you have to have 3 to 4 starting caliber wings. Denver has
Is this something or nothing?
This is a lesson I've learned. Yeah, you tell me if it's something or nothing, or if you think I'm overdoing.
Okay.
You need to have 3 to 4 starting caliber wings, and I'll go. You have to have 4 if one of them is not a star. Basically, if one of your wings is not a star. Go. Denver has Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Bruce Brown. The Lakers have LeBron, Reeves, Rui, and Jared Vanderbilt. Reeves kind of a guard, but so is Bruce Brown.
LeBron's still a wing.
Yeah. He's also a small ball 5, which we'll talk about a little later. The Celtics have Tatum, Brown, and Grant, and then like Derek White and Marcus Smart. They kind of like
say Marcus Smart counts.
They go. He handles the ball for them though. I counted him as a ball handler for them. He's like their starting point guard. And then Miami has Butler, Caleb Martin, and Max Strus. Like if one of your starting wings is not a star, you have to have 4 in what the Nuggets have with Gordon, MPJ, KCP, and Bruce Brown. You have to have 4 that could start on your team.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can, I think people will be trying to look at Denver and try to emulate. I almost want to throw out Miami completely. Like, I think they're just, I mean, yeah, they're just so far out there of like going against the norm of all the things that you try to learn about even team building and different stuff. But yeah, I'll say it's something. I guess something means agree. So
yeah,
yes, I agree.
Am I on? Let's say am I on to something? Let's do it that way.
Yes, I wouldn't say it's just like groundbreaking. Hey, let me present the sliced bread concept, but I think
no.
Yes, you definitely need a ton of wings. Yeah,
the Mavericks have 3 of those: Reggie Bullock, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway. Question mark.
Well, you said starting caliber.
Yeah,
so...
I did. So what? How many do the Mavs have? 2.
Yeah. I mean, I think here's a better question. If you took all the wings left in the playoffs right now, how far down in a fantasy draft are you until you take Josh Green or Reggie Bullock?
Pretty far.
I know. So, yeah. I mean, I guess.
But this is why this is why we've been so stuck on they need to add a starting caliber wing and probably 2 starting caliber wings if we're looking at this.
I'll say 1. I think they have 1. I think I still believe in Reggie Bullock.
Sure.
I think
I do.
I think they have 1. Right now, I'm just not there with Josh Green as a starting caliber wing in the playoffs.
But I think Josh Green could be in the Bruce Brown, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, like Grant Williams type. Like he could be in that stage. But then that means you have to have 2 or 3 starting caliber wings ahead of him, or at least like in the same rotation. So the Mavericks have to add at least 1 or 2 starting caliber wings. And if they add one, it has to be like a 40-minute per game type player because you just need that. So
they need 2 this offseason.
Yeah. Centers. Started looking at centers. Your starting center has to give you either 30 minutes or you have to have 2 centers that can give you 20 to 25 minutes. And it's not even a bullpen because the ones that you look at where you're like, all right, you're getting 2 different centers is the Celtics with Horford and Rob Williams. So both of those guys are starting could start on a lot of teams. And then I looked at the second round teams and I went with, all right, the Knicks are another team that has like 2 Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein that were playing 27 and 20 minutes. Like you either have to have that where it's one guy getting a bunch of minutes or it's 2 guys getting the same amount of minutes, but it has to be 2 starting caliber type players. Hartenstein would start for the Mavericks.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I agree.
So you look at some of the centers. It's Jokic, and then the backup is they play a small ball. They just play small ball 5.
You kind of got to throw out the Nuggets with that.
Lakers was Anthony Davis, and then they just play a small ball as backup because Bamba wasn't there.
Yeah.
Miami plays Bam a lot, and then they have like minimal Zeller minutes. He plays like 9 minutes.
Bam's so frustrating, man.
I know you texted me that. I was like, yeah, you just want him to be. You just like, I just have so much high hopes for you. Like you could just do so many things. You look at this. The Suns, they had Ayton playing like 30 minutes, and then they had the Landell Bismack Biyombo combo.
Landell replaced him.
The Warriors had Looney playing like 25 minutes, and then the small ball that they ran. Sixers had Embiid playing a lot, like 38 minutes, and then Paul Reed is minimal back. So, like, you look at what the Mavericks have to do. They have to add a starting center that can play 30 minutes because you just don't have another player that you think could play 20-plus minutes in the playoffs. But I think another thing that I've learned in the playoffs is that if you're going to have one center and then play backup, like do small ball 5, you have to have a big 4 for backup 5, which the Mavericks have in Maxi Kleber. The Nuggets, they're small. They run small ball when Jokic is off the floor. They have Aaron Gordon and they have Jeff Green. The Lakers, they had LeBron as their like small ball 4, as their small ball 5. And then the Warriors had Draymond Green.
Whoa! Don't be hating on Tristan Thompson.
he did get a dunk. And then the Warriors have Draymond Green. The Mavericks can run that. So like, I'm not saying the Mavericks need to add 2 centers. This obviously they need to add 1 starting caliber, and then they have the small ball backup works. It's worked for 3 of these teams that have gone far in the playoffs this year.
They just got to get. I mean, we've been saying they got to invest more and get a solidified starting pick. So like, if you got to get to 30-minute a night center on this team. Miles Turner, insert
Jared
whoever
Allen.
it is. Oh God, Jared Allen, yes. To where they play 30-something minutes, and then those other minutes, it's a Maxi playing a small ball 5. It's another, bigger wing that you get. You get a Grant Williams, and you're like, let's get crazy with it and throw Grant Williams at a small ball 5. And
they need somebody in the Ayton, Looney, Mitchell, even like Horford caliber.
Yeah,
they need someone in that range because they have the backup 5 in Maxi Kleber, and then even in like, Dwight and JaVale, those if Dwight stays around.
Yeah,
you have the backup to play those minutes. You just don't have the starting minutes at all.
Yeah.
The wild card scorers. This one was interesting to me. That you have to have 3 wild card scorers outside of your top 2 that could give you 20 points in any given playoff game. The Mavericks had this when they went to the Western Conference Finals. You had Luka and Brunson, but then you had Dinwiddie, Dorian, Reggie, Maxey, and then like you had guys that could give you 20 on any given night because they were hitting so many threes. Here are the guys that have scored 20 points in these playoffs. Porter Jr., KCP, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown for Denver. That's 4 guys outside of Jokic and Murray. The Lakers had Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, all scored 20 points, and they didn't have enough scoring on that team. They only had 3. The Heat have had Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, and Duncan Robinson. All have had 20-point games in this run. The Celtics have had Marcus Smart, Derek White, and Malcolm Brogdon. That's all the players that have scored 20 points in these playoffs outside of your top 2 best players.
Hey, can I point out a difference of these guys compared to the Mavs guys?
Yeah.
They're more versatile. Like Reggie Bullock only scores off of a Luka pass.
And Maxey.
Yeah. Like and Maxey. Even Josh Green even Josh Green to an extent. They gotta take those minutes or those places in rotation and get guys who can be a little bit more versatile. that you look at those Boston guys, they can put it on the floor. You look at a guy like Caleb Martin, and, Gabe Vincent.
Amazing.
Like Gabe Vincent's creating shots. He can, hit shots off the dribble. You look at, some of the Denver guys, like even Reeves and Rui, like what they were doing. It's like they were creating. Austin Reeves, suddenly could draw fouls like he's Michael Jordan. So it's like, all right, like you got to have guys in those spots that I don't want to. Yeah. Anyway, it's more like,
yeah.
Can I get a versatile, I'm trying to think of an acronym on the spot, but I don't want to like it's almost like you need more than a 3-and-D, right? Like it's not just the 3-and-D.
3-and-D and me.
You just need somebody like in Dallas built with 3-and-D guys, but now they need to transform those spots into guys who can do a little bit more.
3-and-D and Cree. 3-point defense and creating. But for the Mavericks, if you look at just wild card guys that could score 20 points in a playoff game, Tim Hardaway could. Jaden Hardy, maybe. We'll see if we're going to see next year if he's ready for something like that. But we've seen guys take leaps in their second year. And then Maxey and Bullock. Those are like two guys that we've seen score 20 points in a playoff game, but it's only because they're hitting through. But Duncan Robinson is on this list, and he's only getting shots for himself. He's created a little bit off the dribble with like pick and rolls and stuff in the Eastern Conference Finals, which is actually wild to watch.
Well, he's about to change his podcast title to the miss shot instead of the long shot, because
those two shots are going to haunt him for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they have to. So, do the Mavericks have to add scorers? Is basically the other question. This is an interesting thing. The thing that those teams have, and even like Denver's guys, KCP, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, like they can create a little bit for themselves, but not at like a super high level. Porter Jr. can a little bit, but
I was going to say Porter Jr. and even Aaron Gordon, they can do a little bit more than.
But when you have a hub like Jokic or Luka, you can get away with having guys that aren't like that.
I think there's a whole conversation. It's much longer than where we're at right now, but looking at how Jokic plays with those guys in Denver and what Luka can be learning from that.
Yes.
There's so much stuff with that of picking the spots, the pacing himself, the having other people get the ball at certain times. But also, it still comes back to Jokic whenever the most important times. Jokic knows when I'm going to take over and do my thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff I think Luka and the Mavs should be taken from Jokic in Denver right now.
Absolutely.
I got a small something or nothing.
Go ahead.
Grant Williams wears Luka's shoes every game. Something or nothing.
It's nothing. It's nice, but it's nothing. So does Satu Sabali on the Dallas Wings. So she was wearing Luka's yesterday.
Who's better, Satu or Grant?
Oh, Satu. Satu is killing it right now with the Dallas Wings. She's like a top 10 player in the league right now.
Dang. So she'd beat Grant 1-on-1?
Yes.
All right.
I think she would. I honestly think she would. She's 6'4". She can handle him.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Let us know
I thought you had one more.
Oh, okay. I'll do the one more. You have to have at least 3 to 4 solid ball handlers on your team.
Oof.
The Nuggets have Jokic, Murray, and then Bruce Brown, ? But like also Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter, like they can all kind of handle the ball a little bit. The Lakers had Russell, Schroeder, LeBron, and Reeves. The Heat had Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and then I'll throw Tyler Hero in there. Boston, Marcus Smart, Brogdon, White, Derek White, and then the two wings and Tatum and Brown. Like you have to have 3 to 4 guys that can legit handle the ball.
Yeah, which goes into the versatile spots of like, you add whatever that third wing spot is, alongside Kyrie playing off Luka in the starting lineup. Like imagine that spot being a guy who can create. Imagine that being a Marcus Smart. Imagine that being a, a better version of Austin Reeves. Somebody who can,
even just Austin Reeves.
Anyway,
a slightly worse version of Austin Reeves. It would be an honor. There you go. Let us know what lessons you've learned from the playoffs, what the Mavericks should learn from those. And tomorrow we'll be back with the Jarris Walker draft profile. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.